John Solomon came on and hinted that more is coming today. Watch.
Joe Biden looked into the camera and told us China is not our enemy. We now find out his family was getting millions from China. Maybe that's why he said it. That lingers in people's mind. Mm-hmm. Joe Biden said the Hunter Biden laptop was Russian disinformation. We now know that was a ruse. The Hunter Biden laptop. Joe said my son didn't do anything wrong, and I never met with his business people. He met with his business people, and Hunter Biden has been expecting to be indicted in the next couple of weeks. So Joe Biden's credibility is the hardest hit thing in the Hunter Biden scandal, because he looked in the camera, told us it's all bogus. Now Americans are hearing it's actually quite true. The whistleblower, the latest whistleblower, is an FBI guy. He is privy to a part of the investigation where a confidential human source related to Ukraine, most likely Burisma, but definitely Ukraine, came in June of 2020 and laid out a scenario where there was Joe was involved in a pay-to-play trade policy in Ukraine for cash to his family. We don't know if the FBI took that seriously, or if it fell into some circular file like so many of the other Hunter Biden allegations that just didn't get investigated. But the idea that 6 months before Election Day, there was a confidential human source, someone the FBI trusted enough to make an informant, coming in and laying this out, that's a shocker. I mean, that in and of itself is a blaring headline. To add the fact that maybe the FBI didn't look at it, may have kicked the ball, sounds a little bit like what the IRS agent was saying, which was we were trying to indict Hunter Biden on tax things, and political people were getting in our way, tripping us up, preventing us. So now it's not only the wrongdoing that maybe the Biden family did engage in, but now there's the first outlines of a cover-up, and that always gets Washington into a difficult mood in the summer of any year.
Okay, so that was a big scoop that he dropped on the show Friday night, that a new whistleblower is coming Monday. Guess what? Here we are. It's Monday. John just texted me.
John bringing it.
Go to justthenews.com. Who is this whistleblower with credibility? A respected former federal prosecutor.
Oh,
wow.
So this is not some rando saying, I heard Joe Biden took a bribe. No. This is a former prosecutor approached the Justice Department in the fall of 2018 on behalf of a foreign witness who claimed to have evidence that Joe Biden had, quote, exercised influence to protect his son's employer, Burisma, in Ukraine, in return for money to the Biden family. That would be a bribe. The agency did not take up the ex-prosecutor on his offer, but get this, guys. They instead, the FBI, secretly obtained the former prosecutor's phone records a year later in an apparent effort to identify his contacts to maybe protect Biden. Who's this guy talking to? This is insane. This is surveillance at the worst. It's a retired Little Rock, Arkansas U.S. attorney, Bud Cummins, who went to then New York U.S. Attorney Jeff Berman on October 4th, 2018, and said, that basically a Ukrainian prosecutor was willing to travel to the U.S. to present this evidence about the Bidens and Burisma, Terrence. And what was going on around that time? Wasn't Donald Trump out there saying there's dirt on the Bidens, it's time to investigate it? And they didn't, and instead they impeached Trump. It's just perverse.
This is a modern-day Watergate. It's shaping up to be a modern-day Watergate with the cover-up and all of that. You talked about the summer, or John talked about this summer is going to be interesting. I'm just going to say it looks like it's shaping up to be a summer of discontent because a lot of information is getting ready to come out.
It is.
Yeah, the chat's going crazy, and Sean sums it up for me, saying, where was this whistleblower 3 years ago?
Well, in fairness, Sean, the whistleblower was there. The FBI,
but the FBI didn't want to follow it up. They didn't want to follow up on it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
well, it's unbelievable the way that the news, that there's there's no accountability in this country. I feel him. I feel Sean.